Good morning. Alright, I'm back in the same stand I was in yesterday evening. Those deer had me pinned down. They were all around me, chasing and grunting and carrying on. So it's actually opening and muzzleloader season. But I've got my bow with me today. It's about 40 degrees right now. It's supposed to get up to 74 today. So I think me sitting over near this pond, there's a pond down here. There's a line of white oaks up the fence row right over there. I think this is a pretty good location for this morning, and these deer tend to bed over on the neighbor in a thicket that's over there. So let's see what happens. The neighbor's dog, about 250 yards that direction, is going crazy. I'm hoping that means the deer are moving through, heading this way. I hear one running. It's back here behind me. Well, I don't know what's going on this morning. There's been no deer activity at all. Squirrels are moving around a lot. These crows are driving me insane. I can't hear anything. They're just roosted right up here. Golly. The sun's starting to come up. The sun's hitting the hillside behind me. Historically, when I hunt over the field out there, when that sun starts to hit the hillside is when they start to move. So I'm hoping as the sun comes into the timber here that the deer will start to move back and forth. Turkeys are flying down. They're roosted just across the road. God, these blasted crows are driving me crazy. Jeez. I had a turkey roosted right here beside me. I never saw it until it started yelping. And it flew down across the road to join all the others. I still haven't seen a single deer yet. This is so dramatically different than what I was experiencing yesterday evening when they were all around me at dark. I'm just hoping that they've been out feeding and they're making their way back to the bedding area. And I don't know. It's about 8:30. I've been out for 2 hours. It's starting to warm up now that the sun's hit the hillside. Thermals are causing a lift of there's a slight breeze going uphill because of the thermals from where the sun's hitting down here in the valley now. So I'm going to stick it out, stay a couple more hours and see if anything happens. Alright, well, I think that's going to do me for this morning. It's starting to warm up. It's almost lunchtime. Been out here for quite a few hours now. And no deer to show for it. But, oh well. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Hey, good morning. So, I am so frustrated this morning, it's ridiculous. walked off and left my 4th Arrow camera shoulder in my basement. That's the most frustrating part about this 4th Arrow system, is you got to make sure you got your base, your shoulder, your arm, your fluid head, which I did. My fluid head just came in, and that base and shoulder is absolutely huge. It's bulky and heavy, and I change out between the camera arm, the stiff arm, the rail grab shoulder, the rail grab mount, and a tripod. And if you don't remember to go through and grab everything, and yes, that's my own fault, I totally admit to that, but when you're trying to get stuff together, this is probably the 3rd or 4th time that I've forgot the blasted shoulder, because I'm switching out setups from day to day, and I just forget to grab it. It's laying there, and I forget to grab it. Anyway, because I don't have my camera arm, you're only going to get handheld shots today, which means if there's a kill shot today, you're not going to see it. So, unless by chance maybe the GoPro can get it, but I'm just aggravated, frustrated, got up early to get out here and get set up before daylight, and I walk off and forget the shoulder again. But wouldn't you know, the morning that I didn't bring my shoulder is the morning I've had the most deer activity. Saw 9 deer this morning. Actually, that's the same that my son saw on his youth hunt. 7 does and 2 bucks. The bucks were really small, just a spike and a 4-point. And they stood out here in front of me for a long time, and the bucks were chasing the does, especially one of the fawns. It looked like they were chasing one of the fawns from this year. That couldn't have been more than 6 months old, probably. Anyway, they were chasing it around, but they had me pinned because there were so many eyes out here that I couldn't move, so I couldn't even get my camera out to take any pictures or videos. So I'm going to call it a morning here soon. I've got to move this tree stand. It's in a terrible spot. Now that the sun angle has shifted to the south, it has me spotlighted right here in the morning when the sun comes up. So the sun comes up and it hits me, and I stick out like a sore thumb. So I need to move this stand this afternoon, and I may move another stand this afternoon to get them into a better position for the remainder of muzzleloader and the upcoming gun season. So I was coming down from the tree, and over across the road, over on my dad's property, or near my dad's property, somebody just started unloading their gun. I mean, it was just, crazy. Sounded like a pistol. And my brother's over there hunting, and he started texting me going, "What's going on? What's going on?" It looks like the neighbor has went behind their house and is target shooting up the hill toward my brother is sitting. I don't know. The neighbors only got a couple of acres, but they've been known to shoot their guns up the hill and into my dad's property. So we got to figure out how we're going to handle this and get him out of there and get them to stop shooting for a little while. buck, and he took his time and just worked his way down. That's nice. That was really good. That was a really good start to the morning. I'm going to check when I leave. He spent some time behind that cedar tree. There was a big scrape behind that cedar tree last year, but I think it was the scrape from the buck that I shot last year. So there's a chance that deer are using the same tree to make another scrape on this year. Anyway, I had about 2 hours to hunt this morning before I had to go back inside to work. That's a great way to start the morning. Well, that's going to do it for this morning. It's 8:30. I've got to get back to the house to get ready for a conference call. Really active morning this morning. My wife actually also just texted me telling me that when she went out to go walk the dogs this morning, she saw 5 does up in the persimmon grove that we have. So they are definitely out and moving and active this morning like I expected them to be. Unfortunately, work calls and I've got to pay the bills. So I'm going to take my time real quietly, break everything down. I'm not going to mess with even closing up the ground blind because it makes a little bit of noise. So I think I'm just going to pack stuff up and get out of here because I may try to come back out here and hunt this evening. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, stick with us. Rut is heating up.